So, we're now in the lecture 6. So, medyo kalahati na po tayo ng ating lecture series, no? So, kanina we discussed about the combinations that we can do with our Sentinel-2 satellite data, including yung true color and the false color composite. This time, let's try to explore ano naman yung spectral indices, another product that we can derive from our downloaded satellite data. Again, our lecture is about spectral indices. So first, let's know the definition of a spectral index. Ano yung common Sentinel-2 based spectral indices available, and ano yung potential applications natin with our LGU and also SUCs. What are the available databases of spectral indices? And lastly, a short exercise on calculation of NDVI. So meron tayong exercise then with DST Saray using NDVI, but for now, we'll learn how to do it manually in QGIS kapag may downloaded data na tayo. Okay? So anyone with idea about a spectral index? Narinig na po ba ito? Ibang index, alam natin, no? So, sa remote sensing Earth observation, common yung usage and also application of spectral indices. For example, in land cover, isa to sa mga important inputs natin, yung mga spectral index. It will help the algorithm to separate better the different classes available on your site. Okay? So, di ba, ito yung other example sa other presentations. We have here a sample true color composite image. So, with composite, we can only visualize, no? However, we can also calculate mismo and generate a particular new band, new output, wherein iba na yung kanyang values. Di ba, sa composite, na-retain natin yung values ng surface reflectance, yung 0 to 1,000 plus, no? This time, iba na siya. Iba na yung value niya. Iba na yung range of value niya. Kasi, we utilize formulas mismo. Okay? So, spectral indices are formulas that combine reflectance data from 2 or more spectral bands to highlight, ito yung purpose niya, to highlight specific features. Okay? So, may equation tayong igagawin. Hindi lang siya pag-reassign ng 3-4, 4-3-2, di ba? Kanina sa composite, we just reorder them and combine them together. That's simple. That's a simpler way to visualize them. But for analysis, this one is a better example or product, which is yung spectral indices. For example, we have band 4 and band 8. Band 4 is, ano to? Red. Ang 8 ay near infrared. Okay? So, tandaan na lang mo yun, band 4 and band 8. Okay? Now, we have this normalized difference vegetation index. Ito yung kanyang formula. So, NIR minus red divided by NIR plus red. So, by using this particular band, it will be 8 minus 4 over 8 plus 4. So, pag nag-calculate ka, your product will be this one. Okay? NDVI na siya. Pag mataas yung value ng NDVI, mataas yung density ng vegetation or yung health ng vegetation. Pag mababa yung kanyang value, mababa yung density or sparse yung vegetation. So, again, by using formula, we can create a new set of product or data set. Okay? One of the common method used in spectral index is normalization, wherein we transform data from different bands into a common comparable scale. Okay, so dito, di ba, dinadivide siya dito. So the division in this formula performs this normalization. So may minus red ka dito over plus red dito. So nanonormalize yung value mo. Okay? By dividing the difference between two bands by their sum, we standardize the values. So hindi lahat ng index is nanonormalize, pero karamihan ng mga indices natin, ito yung methodology yung sinusunod, yung normalization. Okay? So, what are the differences between band composite and spectral index? So, band composite kanina, we can only use it to visualize. Ito yung main purpose niya, to visualize different features. Yung output mo, na-retain natin yung original, no? Visual lang siya, 3-color image. Yung value mo, retained yung reflectance values ng original files mo. Okay? Example dito, yung true color and the false color that you did earlier in the previous exercise. However, meanwhile, for spectral index, we apply mathematical formula, okay, combining bands to highlight specific features, mainly used for analysis na siya. Okay? Kasi, iba na yung set of values mo. You can calculate statistics like summary, mean, okay, minimum, maximum, NDVI. We can do that by using spectral index na hindi mo kayang gawin dito, mainly. Okay? So, the output is a single band raster. So, we can use it for analysis. And the value range is typically ranges from -1 to 1 for normalized indices. Example nito is normalized difference vegetation index and normalized difference water index. So clear po yung difference, no? Clear naman. May questions po tayo on the difference between them. So spectral index, ang clue ay may equation na ina-apply sa band compositing, talagang nire-align lang natin or reassign yung RGB channels. Okay? So, next presentation or next slides, we will talk about the normalized difference vegetation index, which is the, I think, pinaka-common talagang vegetation index or spectral index na ginagamit, and also other vegetation indices. Okay? So, ito yung formula ng NDVI as shown earlier, no? So, di ba sabi natin, mataas yung reflectance sa near-infrared, no? Dahil doon sa kanyang mga chlorophyll structures, mga leaf structures, pero mababa yung absorption, okay? Or mataas yung absorption sa red. So dito, sa wavelength natin, mababa yung value ng red, mataas yung reflectance doon sa NIR region natin. Ito yung red, and this is the NIR region. Okay? So this formula can better highlight this particular effect or differences between your two bands here. So na-highlight natin, so na-separate natin yung healthy vegetation from your unhealthy vegetation. Pwede rin dense vegetation from your sparse vegetation. Okay? So NDVI quantifies vegetation by measuring the difference between NIR and red light or red bands. Okay? Tandaan po natin, no, sa NDVI, red and NIR. So yun yung pinaka-common na spectral index na pwedeng gamitin natin. So ito yung another illustration showing you how the NDVI value will change when the vegetation is healthy and when the vegetation is stressed. Okay, sa healthy, for example, mataas yung reflectance ng NIR kasi nga buo yung mga leaf structures mo, no? Yung mga chlorophyll A and other stomata or other structures, mataas yung reflectance ng NIR. Kapag stress, syempre, mamanifest yun sa dahon and sa mga parts ng dahon, bababa yung NIR. Kabaliktaran, okay, sa red, mababa lang siya dapat, tataas yung red pag stress. Ibig sabihin, pag in-equate mo dito or in-apply mo doon sa equation, bababa yung NDVI mo. Okay? Kasi affected siya ng input bands mo, which are yung red and NIR natin. So ito yung common value range of NDVI from -1 to 1. Pag 0.66 pataas hanggang sa 1, healthy yung plant natin. Pag -1 or less than 0, usually, walang plant yan, either bare soil yan, or dead yung plants mo, or inanimate yung object. Okay? In between, nandun na yung unhealthy hanggang sa moderate, no? Okay? So, importante siya in studying our forest, also for crop monitoring. So, useful yung NDVI natin. At least ngayon, alam natin, bakit kailangan gamitin yung NDVI? Kasi, it can reflect yung density or yung health ng ating vegetation. So, helpful siya especially for temporal analysis, multi-temporal analysis. We can do it, for example, comparing between months, pwede rin between years. Okay? For example, pag may El Niña, pwedeng maapektuhan yung ating vegetation or crops, makita natin yun sa mga trend natin, no? For example, dito. Ito is around 2018 hanggang 2020. So, nakita nito na bumababa siya during dry months kasi may vegetation stress, may water stress. Bumababa yung NDVI. So you can do mga sample analysis like that. Pwede may correlate sa other variables. For example, sa weather, pwede yan sa rainfall, pwede yan i-correlate. So maraming studies na pwedeng gawin with NDVI alone. Okay? Review, that's NDVI. Ito yung example ng true color lang. I think this is satellite data. Then this is the NDVI values for Talisay, Cebu. Okay? As you can see here, the areas that are vegetated, sila yung mataas yung ating greenness. So ito, nakadepende lang pala to sa color scale or palette na gagamitin. Pero for this one, white to green yung palette natin. So yung green yung mataas yung vegetation, and yung water natin is almost zero or no vegetation. Another example, this is in Cagayan. As you can see, sa cropland naman to, crop area. Okay, yung mga vegetation area and also yung mga mga planted na crops, those registered yung higher NDVI values. Ito yung again, yung NDVI natin. So yung NDVI was developed by Rouse et al. 1973 pa siya. So well-established na yung NDVI, so marami ng publications ang nag-utilize ng index na ito. Okay, so well-accepted na siya globally. So in 1994, meron tayong another version. It's an improved version of NDVI by Huete et al. Ito naman yung Enhanced Vegetation Index or AVI. So as you can see, similar lang naman yung NIR minus red, okay? Pero yung denominator natin, naglagay sila ng constant, okay? Hindi na siya yung NIR plus red. They included some constant to better solve the problem of this one. Kasi nakita nila, kapag super taas na yung NDVI, sobrang healthy na vegetation, nagiging saturated na yung values. Pag hindi niya na-record yung mas mataas pa doon. Sa mga mataas na values, hindi niya na-differentiate yung values between the values kapag highly saturated na yung ating vegetation. So yun yung gustong i-enhance ng EVI natin. Example, this one, same image kanina. So na-detect daw nila na mas madami syempre doon ang nakaka-capture na vegetation na hindi kaya na NDVI. Another derivation, same author, Huete et al. That's 1998, tama? So that's SAVI. Soil-adjusted naman siya. So SAVI siya. Soil Adjusted Vegetation Index. Okay? This index aim to minimize the influence of soil brightness, especially pag low yung density ng ating vegetation. So, nangyari, pag sparse yung vegetation, nakaka-capture niya yung reflectance ng soil mismo sa baba ng canopy. Okay? So, yung sa baba ng canopy, di ba, ano siya, from the above, nakaka-capture niya yung dapat yung canopy ng dahon. Pero pag manipis yung dahon, nakita niya yung reflectance ng nasa baba, yung soil. Okay? So in a way, this index solves that, corrects that factor by minimizing the influence or brightness of soil. Ito yung SAVI example natin. Okay? For detecting burned or forest fire, ito naman yung ginagamit natin na index. Imagine, pwede siya gawin with Sentinel-2 dataset. Ito naman yung normalized burn ratio or NBR. So dito, we are using band 8 and band 12. So that's NIR, near infrared and shortwave infrared. Ito yung mga band 8 natin and band 11, 12. Okay? So pwede siyang gamitin to detect recently burned areas. Makita niyo yung mga scar. Okay? By comparing these two bands. Okay? Pag mataas yung value ng NBR, it can indicate healthy vegetation. While low value naman, it can indicate bare ground. Ito example. So, ito yung ating Sentinel RGB. Okay, sa Tarlac City. Tapos, yung high NBR, yung mga, di lang siya kita dito. Okay, pero yung low NBR, indicates bare ground and recently burned areas. So, ito yung mga mas orange pala. Ayan. So, yan yung mga bare ground or recently burned. So, itong site na to ay gumagawa sila or nagsusunog sila ng some canes during harvest. So, potentially talagang burned areas yan. Okay? Ito naman ang ginagamit for studying sa city natin. Okay? Kasi this is Normalized Difference Build-Up Index or NDBI. Okay? Using this particular two bands, yung SURE 1 and NIR. So, ito yung Baguio City, for example. Okay? But using this particular index, you can easily separate yung built-up areas o impervious surfaces. Yan, ito. So, yung mga yellow to red na based on this particular palette, okay? Blue to red siya. Yan. So, yung mga areas na to ay may built-up area. So, pag sinabing built-up area, pwedeng road, pwedeng houses, pwedeng buildings, pwedeng mga tulay, anything na built-up structures or impervious surface. Okay? So, madali siyang i-contrast versus sa vegetation natin, no? Dito. So, NDVI detects urban or built-up by using the contrast between SWIR and NIR. Okay? So, built-up areas generally reflect more SWIR and less NIR. Kaya nakaka-capture niya yung differences na to. Ito naman example for Cebu City. Okay? Familiar kayo sa site? So ito yung nasa baba lang din, no? So yung mga bahay, okay, yung mga bahay dito and mga roads, ito yung mataas yung NDVI values, yung mga red. Meanwhile, yung water, pati yung mga bare ground mo, itong site na to na may vegetation, mababa kasi hindi naman siya yung built-up surfaces. So isang way yon to observe or distinguish yung mga land cover natin, which is useful for land use monitoring or land use planning. So are you familiar with the site? Saan po ito? Any guess? Kasi naubusan kami ng prize. Sorry. Walang sasagot. Very good po yung San Juanico. Yan. San Juanico Bridge po. So imagine with San Juanico, tapos let's visualize San Juanico using two different indices. One, build-up index and one, vegetation index. So sa build-up index, nakita yung tulay. Tama? Kasi nakita natin yung red yan, di ba? So sabi sa Google, around 20 meters yung width niya. So, pasok naman siya sa width ni Sentinel-2. Kaya na-capture niya yung tulay. So, kaya yun. Versus dito, wala kang makita kasi di naman siya vegetation. Okay, ito lang yung negative space dito. Yun. So, directly opposite sila, no? Dito, we highlighted the built-up areas, okay, and less vegetation. Meanwhile, for vegetation index, as the name suggests, we can highlight yung vegetation, okay, versus yung negative na ating build-up areas. So yung selection ng index natin will depend on your use cases. Kung ano yung applications yung kaya natin. We can combine them, for example, if you want to do land cover mapping as a guide for detecting or identifying the features. Alright, so sa the Philippines naman, meron naman tayong nagawa ng index. Ito naman yung Mangrove Vegetation Index or MVI. So yung author po nun, baka kilala nyo, Baloloy et al. 2020. So this is my index last 2020. This is published na po in a journal. So this is MVI. Ano siya? Mangrove Vegetation Index. So bakit kailangan ng index kung may NDVI? Okay? Sa NDVI po kasi, when you apply it sa iyong satellite data, regardless of your forest or vegetation type, kapag dense siya, mataas yung value mo. Kita nyo dito? Yung mangroves mataas, yung terrestrial forest dito mataas. Okay? With our MVI, once i-apply mo yung formula sa yung satellite data, you can already separate that dense mangroves here, or the mangrove areas here, versus your terrestrial forest. Okay? So, pwede siyang gawin for mangrove mapping. Kasi nga, it can separate mangroves from non-mangroves and even mangrove vegetation from non-mangrove vegetation. So, yun yung kayang gawin with our index, developed specifically for mangrove mapping, utilizing distinct spectral behavior of NIR. So, kwento ko lang yung kayang gawin niya. Ito pong NIR minus green, it can show you yung distinct na vegetation greenness sa mangroves. Meanwhile, this equation, yung SUR1 minus green, ito naman yung magbibigay sa'yo ng distinct na moisture na nasa mangroves. Combine them together, it can separate mangroves. So, ito yung sample ng Google Earth image natin, no? Tapos, yung false color niya, ito siya. Nakita agad yung difference. However, by applying our equation, we can separate these particular areas na potentially mangroves and we can export it as raster and shapefile. Meaning, kapag na-delineate natin, we can measure the hectares. We can report the hectares. Pwede per barangay, per Philippines, etc. So, pwede siyang gawin for mangrove monitoring with this particular method. Okay? So, yun yung kanyang kwento. Okay? So, in case magtanong kayo bakit sa sinama, baka bias lang ako kasi I'm the author. After naman publication, this is globally accepted na po siya. For example, sa recent publications, thank you, recent publications ni United Nations FAO, yung The World Mangroves 2000 to 2020, isa po siya sa integral index or part siya ng methodology on assessing the global mangroves. So part na po siya nito, FAO, study na to, they utilize MVI among the other vegetation indices. And if you're familiar then with Nature Conservancy, so part na rin siya ng platform nila in assessing the biomass. So marami pa po yung adapt. So I will also show yung platform wherein you can also map your own mangroves using MVI. So later, i-share ko din po siya. Okay? So, balik po tayo sa ibang index. Yan. Ito naman po yung Normalized Difference Water Index. Ito yung NDWI. Familiar po kayo sa site? Oh, familiar po? Taal po. So, this is Taal. So, here we apply NDWI. Ang equation niya po is green minus NIR and green plus NIR. So, if makita nyo, we can easily distinguish yung water unlike dito sa true color natin. Tama? So, tingnan nyo, yung outside na, tama ba? Crater Lake, na-separate niya, pati yung smaller na Crater Lake, na-separate din niya. Dito, mahirap siya makita, no? So, same data set po ito, no? Same data set. So, may clouds yan, di ba? May clouds din yan dito. Pero, once we apply this particular formula, we can easily separate, okay? The water areas versus the non-water areas. Pati itong smaller crater. So, that's the purpose or main function of using NDWI or Water Index by Peters 1996. Right. Ito yung another example sa Toledo City, Cebu, no? So we have here, this is Google image, Google Earth. This is Sentinel-2 True Color Composite. And this is naman yung utilizing NDWI. So yung palette nito is red yung mababa, blue yung mataas. So na-separate agad dito yung malubog lake. Also, itong mga smaller lakes, na-identify din siya. Okay? So, you can use NDWI if yung purpose mo is to assess your water, yung stat ng mga water resources natin sa community. So, meron tayong available databases wherein we can access the common indices or the other secondary indices. Ito yung example, yung index database, it houses yung mga major indices natin plus formula and nakagroup siya by function. Okay? That's the first database. Meron din tayong community-initiated na collection. Ito yung GitHub Awesome Spectral Indices. So yan, meron siyang, nakaseparate din siya by function, by purpose, like for vegetation. We have the list of indices, the formula, and some documentation. Third one, last one, this is the most common indices by USGS. So, nasabi, we already discussed this one, no? Yung SAVI, EVI, NDVI, NBR. So, that's the other source of database or database for indices.